Hi, I'm Arthur Marquita Gordon. I just wanted to hop on and touch on this and just give my thoughts. Um, I've been hearing this a lot about keeping your marital problems within your home or within your married bed. And I agree to it to a certain extent, depending on the situation. Um, there comes a moment where, depending on who you're dealing with, if you're dealing with somebody who lacks communication or don't know how to communicate, you're going to find yourself going to other people who understands, who hears you, and who listens. You're going to find yourself doing that. And to me personally, that's okay. Make sure that if you do, you go to somebody you can trust and won't lead you astray to destroy your marriage. Because sometimes you have to find yourself going to other people, and it's sad that you have to when you are supposed to be able to go to your better half about any problems that you're having, whether it's within yourself or with them. You're supposed to be able to sit down and have those tough conversations. Even those tough conversations where the spouse creates it where those tough conversations have to be had. Now, if you have one of those spouses that tend to create problems and run from those problems, you're going to go talk to other people because you're needing understanding, you're needing clarity, you're needing to be heard, you're needing somebody that understands, and you need somebody to talk to so that you can heal from whatever it is and move past whatever it is. And all of these things is something that you are supposed to do with your spouse, so you won't have to go out there and talk to anybody else about what's going on within your marital bed. So, to the spouse, you cannot be mad at your spouse for going out and speaking to somebody else when this whole time they have been trying to talk to you about the problems y'all have, the two of you, not the five of you, the two of you. It wouldn't involve everybody else if you can sit down like a mature adult and have those tough conversations. You cannot be scared to have tough conversations. Definitely, if you're the reason those tough conversations have to be had. You cannot create a problem and run from it, because running from the problems you create don't solve nothing. It just leaves it there to marinate. And then if you decide to come back, it's gonna still be there because it haven't been discussed, it haven't been talked about. You cannot be mad at your spouse for going to speak to somebody else. They've tried to come to you to get understanding. They've tried to come to you to get clarity. They tried to come to you, but they didn't feel heard. They tried to come to you, but they didn't get the understanding. In order for a marriage to work, you have to be able to have those tough conversations. Hold yourself accountable. If you're the reason those tough conversations have to be had and your spouse is trying to work through them with you, sit down and have those tough conversations, because obviously, whatever it is, they still love you and they're willing to work through it with you. You want to get mad and angry and upset, probably because now that you didn't listen to understand and they didn't feel heard, they don't want to spoke to somebody else. So now the person they spoke to know who you are, the real you. You done been exposed, so that's probably why you're really upset. So if you don't want to be exposed and for people to know the real you, fix whatever the issue is within your marriage, without them having to go to somebody else. Sit down and just listen. That's all it takes. Just listen. And then if you got something to say after they finish, say something. Yelling does not solve anything. Running from the problem you create doesn't solve anything. Once again, it just leaves it there to marinate. You can't be scared to face the problems at hand. And you can't be scared to face the problems you create. Now, my thing is, if that's how you was raised to run away from your problems, now that you're an adult, it's time for you to reevaluate yourself. You cannot run away from your problems and expect for everything to be okay because you done ran away from them. That's not how it works. You can't go and come into somebody's life and destroy it and run away from it and expect for everything to be all cool again. No. If you're going to come back into somebody's life, sit down and have those tough conversations. That way, whatever it was, it won't happen again because now y'all both know how to go about, doing things. Because there's been communication, you understand. The person don't feel, they feel hurt now. Make it make sense. If once again, if you do not want your marital problems outside of your home, watch how you treat people. Watch how you do people. Because some people deserve to be exposed for who they really are. Some people hide who they are very well. Definitely a narcissist. They good at what they do. But once you catch on to them, they be so mad. They be so mad. Because now you done caught on and you know how to move. But anyway, I'm off subject. So to all the married couples out there, whatever it is that's keeping you from being able to have those tough conversations with your spouse, go within yourself. Because if you can't have those tough conversations, most likely you're doing something wrong. Because if you got to yell and do a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff and then leave and not come back home and all that stuff, obviously you've done something wrong. Because if you haven't done nothing wrong, you should be able to sit down and have those tough conversations so that you both can move forward. Because now y'all done sat down, y'all done talked, y'all done had the conversation, y'all both understand how y'all need to move, y'all both understand each other's feelings, and y'all can grow from that and learn from whatever it is and build. You want to be in your feelings because your spouse has probably went to another man or another woman or your family members or their family members and spoke on y'all marital problems. Who else they gonna speak to? Who else are they gonna speak to? If they can't come to you, the person they're supposed to come to, about any and everything, who else are they going to speak to? You cannot be upset. You can't. If you don't want them telling your business and exposing you for who you are, make a change. Do better. Sit down and have those tough conversations. Trust me, nobody want to always have tough conversations anytime they done messed up. Nobody, I get it. So if you don't want to have these tough conversations, stop doing whatever you're doing to cause those conversations to have to be had. And then, most of the time, y'all play victim. Whenever you done got caught and a conversation needs to be had, you want to play victim. Or flip the script like it's the other person. And then go to holler you screaming, wanting peace. You can't holler you want peace if you're the reason there is no peace. You can't. I know I'm all off subject multiple times in this video, and I'm still going to post it anyway because it needs to be heard. I done talked to so many people when it comes to marriage or relationships, and I'm hearing this. Marriages aren't lasting because people are scared to have tough conversations. We are adults and can't have tough conversations. And if you don't want to repeatedly hear your spouse talking about the same thing that caused the conversations to be had or try to be had, have the conversation so that it won't come up again. This is where you can't run from your problem and expect for them to be fixed come from. If your spouse keeps on bringing up the same thing and you call it the past and call it old, obviously y'all have not sat down and had that tough conversation. Obviously, y'all have not sat down and expressed yourselves about whatever the situation was so y'all can move past it. And once again, you want to be upset because they want to talk to someone else about your marital problems. It's good to have a conversation because one, it's you don't have to stress it anymore because the conversation done be had and you got clarity and you got the peace you need from it. You talk about it so you won't hold on to it and bear whatever it is that you're having to deal with. Nobody wants to feel unheard. Nobody wants to feel like nobody's listening. Nobody wants to be misunderstood or for a situation to be misunderstood because there was no communication so that it could be understood. Now, some of y'all gonna disagree with me and some of y'all gonna agree with me, and that's fine. But if you want your marriage to work, communicate. We don't read minds. A person can know you from top to bottom, but we don't read minds. Everybody out here complaining, but nobody's trying to have it where there's a solution. The solution is to communicate. If you love this person like you say you do, respect this person like you say you do, communicate. You cannot come into somebody's life and cause hell on earth, and the moment they want to talk about whatever it is that you've done, you want to yell and scream like they the problem. When all they're trying to do is get clarity and understanding on what could be done better or what they can do better for you and for both of y'all as a whole. We cannot understand what you need or what you want or whatever it is unless you communicate. Let's do better. If you do not want your spouse to go and talk to other people about something you've possibly done wrong or whatever it is that's going on in the marriage, sit down and have that tough conversation. Definitely if you don't want it to keep being brought up. It keep being brought up because they have yet to be discussed. So stuff could be clarified and understood. Be blessed.